Good afternoon, everybody. Just thought we'd do an aviary tour for anyone on the Aussie Finch forum and anyone else that wants to watch it on YouTube. Firstly, we've got our aviary here that's 8 foot high, 8 foot in length, and 5 foot deep from front to back. We'll zoom in close and have a look. Got the male Gouldians in here at the moment. Probably look at pairing them up in the next couple of weeks. And as you can see, I've got the stress perches there, which I do find they roost in at night. And if any are getting picked or getting annoyed by other birds, they can get in there. And you can see the orange head in the top there, he's still molting, so he's happy just sitting around. Got my seed hoppers here, which makes life a lot easier, not having to worry about running out of seed. And the idea of putting the two together was to allow, because most finches, especially Gouldians, they love to eat all together. So instead of having an open dish, I thought I'd put the two down and they all jump down and have a feed. I've got, of course, my cuttle bone on the walls there, another one there, and in that white container I've just got shell grit, dried shell grit, which I renew every now and then. And yeah, just different widths of perch, bamboo, just a natural one. The way we've got it set up, if I can zoom in, which I'm just trying to do now, no, won't let me. I've got clamps that I can actually undo the perches when I want to and renew them. Here's a closer look on this end. I can just undo the clamp and put a new perch in. It doesn't matter what width, and that's handy. We've got a little feeding station here, which when I first started with Gouldians, I was going in the aviary all the time and disrupting them during the breeding season. So what I did was I bought this little service store off Lentra Direct, and it's very easy. I can lock it at night, open it up. Their water's a little dirty today. They had a bath in it before, but I change that when I can. Daily is preferred, of course. They've got a bit of calcium mix, which is just like a mineral brick, a Pigeon Company one. They get egg and biscuit, oyster shell, bit of charcoal and grit, and at the end in the pink is biocal. The aviary floors are brick. This aviary was built all just from recycled materials, and I just go in there and scrape the poo off the floor, and even vacuum up all the seed and try and keep it dry and as clean as possible. You got your bird bath there, which I'll be filling up very soon because we're expecting about 39 degrees New Year's Day. And of course, as you can see, we got our clear blind, which I can roll down at night, just protect the Gouldians from the draft, because they have no insulation in these aviaries and no heating, which I like to keep things as natural as possible. And the hardy ones keep going, and if there's any that are soft, they don't normally make it through the winter. But this aviary here is very similar in dimension. I might just step back so you can have a look. This is the first aviary we built, which was given to me by my grandfather, which used to house a cockatoo, so we had to do a bit of work changing the wire and whatnot. Again, this is 8 foot high, 8 foot long, and 4 foot deep. And so the benefit was we got to use the exact same size blinds on both. And as you can see, my little owl up there, which deters some of the wild birds that sometimes harass the birds on the wire. Seems to keep them away that little bit more. Again, very similar concept in layout, so when I am moving birds back and forth, it's not a total shock and doesn't seem as much of a new environment. Again, feeding station, got a bit of bok choy in there. They love the greens, the Gouldians. Been giving that to them a bit more now, getting them ready for the breeding season. And then just down in that hopper there, I've got rape or canola seed and Niger seed as well, which they have a pick at every now and then. Not as many perches in here at the moment. I used to keep eucalypt branches and things like that. It does look a bit jail-like with the metal and wire, but I just find at the moment, just in the off season, that they do fly a lot more and just keeps them in good nick. And then once I've sorted them out, I may decide to put a couple more branches in there and make it a bit more homely. I've got my shelf at the back wall which I put nesting boxes on, and I used to have them up very, very close to each other. I think this season I'm going to try and keep them separated and put them in a few different areas. I've also bought some hooks so I can clamp them on wires in different spots of the aviary. And just getting access to both aviaries, I have just a safety door. There's me in the reflection, hello. And it's just an old caravan door which open up, get through. I've got my bird net, got my mice catching traps and things like that, but thank God we really don't get too much mice around these areas, and we try and keep it under control, and got my little door there and locked and everything else. I'll then now take you to the boat shed or the bird room, which is just around the corner, where I've got a few breeding cabinets. And at the moment I've got a canary sitting on a nest, which I'm not too sure. This is my first time with canaries, because one was a rescue that I caught in a friend's backyard, and I bought this yellow one here as a female, assuming the one I caught was a male, as a companion, and it looks like now the yellow one is a male, because it seems to be singing a lot more, and the one inside the nest is sitting on, I think, 3 eggs at the moment, but from what I read it's a bit late in the season, so we'll just see how they go. These here, as you know, on the forum, you've seen the photos. I might turn it that way. These are my cabinets. I've got blue Gouldian in there with a split blue Gouldian male, and they got their seed hopper, a couple of perches, their cuttlefish, their grit, their stainless steel water bowl, and I've also got another level here with a couple of red-headed Gouldians, split blue. I do have a clear plastic just on the top half, just so the winds that do come through this alleyway, they can get up and perch at night up the top there, but still have enough air to breathe and everything else. You'll have to excuse the mess. We've also got just all my bits and pieces here, my cuttlefish, all my tools. These were the calcium cake I was referring to before in the dish, which I just put in the aviaries and they love that. And yeah, these are my new L-shaped nest boxes that I'll be trialling this season. And then these are some of my newer birds that are in a quarantine / holding cabinet at the moment. And I've actually got some star finches as well, which I'm looking at selling, but I got these from New South Wales from a friend of mine, and I'll give some to my friend down the road. There's some nice birds there, and yeah, I've got a couple more Gouldians in here, which are just some of them are still molting, a couple of young ones in the back there, but some nice sized birds. And this, of course, is what I call guinea grass, and what I'll do is I'll now take you down to my garden where I grow all my greens for the birds. And just quickly, these are where I store my seed of various types. So what we'll do, we'll quickly walk through now. So this is just down the sideway of my house, and what I've got growing at the moment, as you can see, is Johnson grass, which is quite a destructive weed, I'm told, all around the world. I'm about 6 foot tall, and I'm reaching up. I can barely touch the seed heads on the top there, so it does grow quite tall, and I've actually got that in a raised garden bed, which is a bit hard to see. There it is there, and that's just to stop it from getting into the garden and lawn and everything else, to keep it contained. This here is what I was saying before, is the guinea grass, that the seed heads I had in the Gouldian cage. I've got them all in individual pots at the moment. These were purchased at a sale this year in Ballarat and Geelong, and they're really taking off. And here, as you can see, is the guinea grass seed heads, which I pick and I freeze for the coming Gouldian season. And if I just walk through, I've got a few more younger ones, a few guinea plants that are just starting to take off, and then there's some more Johnson growing, but it hasn't had much success because the neighbour's tree is blocking quite a bit of light. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there and see how we go posting this on YouTube, and hope you enjoyed it.